Welcome to week number 7 of Ironman California prep. Whew. With the main goal, of course, qualifying for Ironman World Championships next year in Kona, Hawaii. Now, if you watched the last video, towards the end, I said that week 7 was going to be interesting and that I would explain it in the next video. So basically, what I meant was we are adding a new stimulus in to our training block. So yesterday, I had my first day off in like 3 or 4 months. And we will still have a 22-hour week of training with a day off, which is crazy. So the big change that is happening in our training is we are doing back-to-back big bikes Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And this is our last push to really build fitness on the bike. So this is something I've never done before. Coach Natasha said that she has done it with some of her athletes or pro athletes, and it's really a last push to be able to build more fitness on the bike before the race. So for example, on Thursday we have 3 hours and 30 minutes. On Friday we have 4 hours and 30 minutes. And on Saturday we have 5 hours. So nearly 15 hours of biking within a 72-hour span. So it's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna make for a very entertaining week. I'm gonna learn a lot, and we're gonna build fitness. So that's the goal for week number 7. But today's Tuesday. We have a swim, hour-and-a-half bike, and a 30-minute run. And we're probably gonna go swim right now and kick off this day. So week number 7, getting closer and closer to race day. Let's go.
Yeah. Started from the mountain top.
Alright guys, that wraps up the swim. We did 3,000 yards, 120 pace, and felt really good overall. Towards the end right there, my hip flexor started cramping a little bit. Just the same, it's the same old thing. Whenever the glutes start closing off, that's when the pain starts to happen. So I just got to really focus on opening up the hip flexors, and I'll be fine. But a little frustrating towards the end, but wasn't such a crucial workout where I needed to hold like a crazy pace or anything like that. So, you know, overall we were fine. Earlier this morning we were a 4. We were burning 75% carbs, 25% fat. And now I'm gonna retest for you guys. So I'm gonna reopen the Lumen app. What's really cool about this Lumen app is it automatically will input your swimming statistics into the app. So if you do a swim and you finish, like right now, it shows me that it's giving me 13 protein, 30 grams of fat, and 30 grams of carbs. That's extra. That's what I should be eating. So it'll give you a nutrition plan that you should be eating for the day. And this is just showing me that because I swam for an hour, that's essentially what I need to eat added on to hit my goals. So we're gonna measure it right now post-workout. So it's graded from 1 being burning like basically all fat, like 95+% fat, and 5% or less of carbs, all the way up to a 5, which is 100% burning carbs or 95% burning carbs and not burning fat at all. So 1 being burning body fat, 5 being burning carbs. Anywhere in between then is going one side of carb burning or fat burning. So all right, let's see what we got. All right, we're burning a 3. So we have gone from 75% carbohydrate burn to 55% carbohydrate burn. And now we're burning 45% body fat. So this is a good sign. I could even be a little bit lower. I think I tested, it's only been like 20 minutes. It's saying it recommends 30 minutes after an exercise to test again. But either way, heading in the right direction. That's kind of what I've assumed. It was an aerobic workout. Average heart rate was around 140. So when you're working out and you have carbs in your system, your body's gonna wanna pull that first. Now, depending on how high the intensity is, your body may wanna pull carbs faster or slower than the other. So if you're doing like a zone 2, which we kind of were in zone 2, your body will pull carbs when it absolutely necessarily needs the energy to, to help you do whatever you're doing. So if your intensity is higher, your body's gonna go pull carbs first. So if your heart rate is lower, if you're doing like walking on a treadmill or a slow jog or, an easy swim, your body doesn't necessarily need to pull those carbohydrates immediately. And if you have a little bit of extra body fat in your system, like I have a little bit of extra body fat, my body will go use that instead. It's the reserve stores that will get used up. So I think that's what happened. I think my body used a little bit of carb burn and a little bit of fat burning. And I think that's why we only went from a 4 to a 3, because I think that my body was utilizing both. And that's what we kind of saw in this test right here. So pretty cool to be able to see and get this kind of data on like what your body is doing, after your workouts and throughout the day, and how nutrition can really affect it and how your workouts can really affect your metabolism. And it just gives you a whole just new sight of data points to be, kind of looking at. So pretty cool. Right now we're gonna head over to my office and we will go eat some lunch, fill up those carb stores, and then we'll hit our next workouts.
There is definitely an element of crazy people on the very...
So I've said before in this prep, I'm only saying a whole bunch of other times. I'll keep beating this drum.
All right, so because this is kind of aerobic, I don't need carbs. So all I'm taking is Replenish from Raw. So just 1,000 milligrams of sodium in each bottle. I already have carbs in my system, so I don't need any extra. So the workout is 20-minute warm-up, 2 by 150 watts, 2 by 5 minutes, 190 watts, 3 by 5 minutes, 205 watts, and 3 by 5 minutes, 215 watts, with a little bit of rest in between and an 8-minute cool down at the very end. So it should be an hour and a half. Then we'll hit our 30-minute run after that. So. A little bit of tightness at the end of the swim today, so I'm hoping I don't have any other issues right now on the bike. I feel all right now, just within the first few seconds, but we'll see. So we got a 20-minute warm-up and then we'll get into the working sets.
Exist is what I hear a lot of you say.
Yeah, I think it's done more.
Oh, please, just know. I wish it didn't exist. But it does, and I have to be a part of it to feel.
Alright guys, that's a wrap on the workout. We did 30 miles today. 30 miles. Let's see here. 30.1 miles, 161 watts, 21 miles an hour, 1 hour and 26 minutes. Stopped just a couple minutes short. Overall, good workout, pretty easy. My working sets were pretty easy. Towards the last block of 3 by 215, I think I held closer to like 220 to 230. Was supposed to hold 220, first set 219, Second set 228, third set 227. Everything else spot on. 189, 189, 204, 204, 204, 219, 228, 227. Solid work. Body feels good. We're gonna suit up for the run, crank out these last few miles, and then that is a wrap. Okay, all I have to do today is 30 minutes aerobic. Just gonna keep a chill pace here, keep my heart rate really low. Probably get in a little over 3 miles is typically what I do. And that'll be it. Legs feel pretty fresh right now. A little bit of soreness in my hamstrings. But overall, body feels really good. All right, so we got 3 miles, 124 heart rate, 838 pace. So a pretty slow pace, but really low heart rate. First run back after our 18 miler on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie, I can still feel a tiny bit of fatigue in the legs, but I mean, totally normal. Totally normal. I think by tomorrow I'll feel fresh. Tomorrow we have a bigger run, and we have a monster swim. I'm just looking at the workout right now while I was running, and holy shit, I think the coach Natasha is trying to kill me, but I think we got like 5,300 yards of swimming to do tomorrow. So of hard swimming too, not just easy swimming, like hard swimming, a lot of threshold work. So definitely want to wrap up here, get some rest, get some food. And one thing I'm trying to do that has been harder than Ironman training is waking up early. I have just had the hardest time waking up early and switching schedules. Typically I am, at least for this year, I've been a night owl, and I'm doing most of my work, and a lot of my partnerships and communication is with people in the UK, Australia, just the opposite side of the world, so opposite time zones. So I've been working a lot at night and waking up a little bit later, still getting in, normal hours of sleep, just kind of on a backward schedule a little bit. So I'm trying to switch that back over because the race is coming up, and the race is at 6:30 a.m. So I want to get my body used to waking up early and working out. So it's been tough, but we're going to continue to try, get up around 5:30, and just start these workouts early so I can be done early and to get my body primed for the Ironman coming up. So it's 7 o'clock right now. It's a wrap. We're gonna get some dinner, wind down, and go to sleep. It's the next day, and surprise, surprise, we woke up, we blew into this, and we are at 2, burning body fat. Just like I kind of suspected yesterday. We're burning 75% body fat right now, which is a great sign that my body has shifted from yesterday being a 4 to now being a 2. It's a good sign. First meal of the day, we're eating eggs and steak, getting in some good protein, good healthy fats. I just realized I grabbed brown shorts for after I'm done. I only have a brown shirt.
monochrome.
All right, there is no part of me that wants to swim 5,000 yards right now, so I'm just gonna head to work. I will bust out more work that I have due coming up by Friday. I'll get my 8-mile aerobic run in, and then I'll make my way to do the swim later tonight.
I ain't even scared to leave. You don't put no fear in me. $100,000 nowadays for the appearance fee, but fuck your money. Ain't nobody telling me where to be. Yeah, hey, truth is what I'm here to speak. Don't care if no one hear me. I got people near and dear.
All right, it is gonna be a long night. It is 5 o'clock. I'm about to start this run. I'm hoping to get done within the hour, or within 1 hour. I'm hoping to get done in 1 hour. If it's a little over, that's fine. But it's still gonna make for a very long night, because I'm gonna have to go swim still after. And if you remember, it's 5,000 yards, so tough day, but we got a lot done. I'm working on a campaign right now for Whoop, and I got about over half of it done, and it's due Friday, so I want to make sure that I get everything else done by tomorrow, so I'm not scrambling on Friday. So overall it's coming out really good, but it's taking away a lot of time from training, but it's all good. So right now I'm fueling up with raw replenish, just 1 scoop. Got 1,000 milligrams of sodium in here. We'll crank out this aerobic run, then we'll head to go swim. For today's workout, we're gonna be using the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. I don't love this shoe, but I do need to be rotating my shoes more often. This is definitely an aerobic day shoe. I wouldn't do any speed work in this shoe. So the fact that we're on the treadmill right now, getting in 8 miles, this is a good shoe to just get some nice easy aerobic miles in. So that's the shoe of choice today. Honestly, I prefer the Pros over the Speeds. They just feel actually more comfortable, even though they are a carbon plated shoe and this one's not. Typically these are supposed to be more comfortable, but for some reason the Pro 4s are very comfortable. I'm exhausted. I'm beat. I'm tired. I'm just mentally just exhausted. And I don't want to work out. I did 8 miles, felt really good, but my body's just done. That 3-day block of cycling starts tomorrow. Today begins the craziest thing I think I've ever done in Ironman prep, and that is a back-to-back biking sessions. Today we have 3 hours and 30 minutes. Tomorrow we have 4 hours and 30 minutes. Saturday we have 5 to 5.5 hours. Or 2 hours in, 2 hours and 7 minutes, 46 miles. Average watts right now is 170. I'm having a hard time just being patient on this bike. I really don't want to do this ride. This is pretty much the last hour, but riding inside is starting to kind of mentally get to me a little bit, at least today. I just want to be off this fucking bike. But one more hour, we can grind it out. The intensity is not too crazy. I've done 2 out of the 3 sets, 15-minute rounds, and I believe I've been sitting around 220 to 230 for those 15-minute rounds.
I've been OMG, I've been God, I've been in and out. Wasn't proper B, a perfect B, I'm packing them out. I've been trying to DM, not per DM, pop my mouth. Hop outside of Hill, New Rio, get them out. I've been hitting 2.
That's a wrap on this workout. We did 3 hours, 15 minutes, 70 miles. I was over this workout, so I cut it a bit short, but we still got in 70 miles. Solid work. This is gonna be a long weekend. I gotta figure something out, because that was the easiest of the 3 rides, and I was just over it already. I mean, we cranked out 70 miles. I stopped about 15 minutes early. I mean, I'm not trying to beat myself up over those 15 minutes. I was just done. I mean, I would have biked another 3 miles. I don't think that's gonna make or break my prep. But I cranked out that workout. I'm heading to go eat right now, and then I'll crank out the other 30-minute run. But I have absolutely 0 time to swim. I have to be somewhere at 5. And that pushes that swim back to tomorrow. So that's really the one workout this week that's kind of just up in the air, may not get done. And out of all the out of all the sports, the swimming, I think the swimming specifically for Ironman California is pretty much locked in. The fitness is there. The speed is there. I mean, it's a downriver swim, so the speed is for sure there. So if I need to skip a workout this week, it's probably going to be that. But I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to get it done tomorrow. After my event at 5 p.m. today, I'm going to be working the rest of the night. You just got to get it done.
Cold world. Southside, can't get enough, can't get enough. East side, west side, worldwide. Ride out. Now I ain't got no kids yet, but this right here's for practice. I hate to get the seats in the bins wet, but that's how good your ass is. Make an old man get his glasses, make Wesley pay his taxes, then follow your moves all week on Twitter. Probably make a gay nigga reconsider. You know, rockin' with the
All right, that's a wrap on the workouts. We're heading to our movie premiere event that we're going to at 5. We got about 20 minutes to get there. Overall, we ran 3.5 miles, a little over 30 minutes. Yeah, I mean, the running's always easy for me, especially aerobic miles. I always enjoy it. It's just those long bike rides, even if it's aerobic, that's just long. It just takes forever, man. It's sometimes you have the patience for it, sometimes you just don't want to be on the bike. And today was one of those days where I definitely did not want to be on the bike. And I'm really thinking about tomorrow being outside, but it looks like there's rain in the forecast, and I'm not trying to get caught out in some rain. So it looks like another long long bike ride tomorrow. But as of right now, legs feel fresh. My body's definitely ready for another 80 plus miles, 85 miles. I think 4.5 hours should get me maybe closer to 90 miles. And then we have 5 to 5.5. That'll be the full Ironman distance for sure, at least. All right, guys, today's day 3 of riding back to back to back, and I didn't film anything last night because it was a disaster. I was supposed to have a 4-hour ride. As soon as I got on the bike, I started feeling just super uncomfortable on my seat. And I started thinking about it, and I started thinking I might have been too stretched out, and I was putting too much pressure on my butt. Also, another thing is my legs were so fatigued, especially my quads, that I was starting to think maybe I was too slammed. That led me to start making some adjustments on the bike, which then led to me stripping my screws on my aero bars, which then led to like a 5-hour delay in my workout. Just a very frustrating day. And even now, my bike, I don't know if you can see this, but my aero bar has one strip screw in it, and it's out of place, and it's just kind of moving around free. So I'm riding here with a broken bike, and it's frustrating, but you know, I'm trying to think of the positives. Yesterday I still was able to get 3 hours in. Today, instead of the 5 hours, I think I'm aiming just to hit 4 hours. So total will be 3.5 hours Thursday, 3 hours yesterday, 4 hours today. I'll still be happy with that, but currently I'm riding with a bike that needs a lot of work. Honestly, I think it's better that I just ride with it kind of broken right now, because I can still get a quality session even though my aero position isn't optimal or, you know, any of that. I can still build fitness on the bike right now. So, but we got to get these aero bars fixed, because right now we're super out of place. Today is now Sunday, and it has been one hell of a weekend, ready for it to be over. But a lot of things went wrong this weekend, and I'll be honest, I will give myself a W because we still overcame a lot and got in most of the work that needed to get done. And now today is the last day. It's about 3 o'clock right now. Needed to let my body rest a little bit, but what we have for sure on the schedule is hitting a 14-mile run. We're gonna do that outside. There's a good chance it might rain, which would be kind of funny if it did. And then we have to hop in the pool, and then potentially what's still up in the air is finishing the night with getting back on the bike for another hour or two, and that would catch me up on all of the volume I was supposed to get in this week, specifically this weekend on the bike. Over the past 3 days, we hit 220 miles of riding back to back to back, which is honestly pretty nuts. And I definitely feel the fatigue in my legs, but I think overall it was really good work. And if we can hit, 40, 45 more miles, we'll get right under 300 miles for the week. And that's a pretty big milestone to hit. So hopefully we get through this run nice and easy, just aerobic, not hitting any crazy paces or anything like that. The goal is to keep the heart rate low and just get these easy miles in. I've been hearing from multiple sources that Ironman Arizona is in its last year coming up this November of hosting Ironman, which which is really unfortunate, honestly, because that was one of my favorite races. That's where it all began for me, and it's sad to hear that this will be it for Arizona. From what I hear and from what I know from, you know, being over there and visiting over there, they are starting a pretty massive construction project that's kind of been underway, and it's actually going to be going into the lake. So supposedly there's going to be like retail and Ferris wheels, like kind of like a pier in the lake, which makes sense why they would be, you know, ending their contract with Tempe, because they're starting that massive construction project. So with that in mind, it would be really unfortunate not to race one more time in Arizona. So I don't know, it's something I'm gonna have to talk to my coach about, see if it's even possible, because I think it's like 28 days after Ironman California. I had already kind of been hinting at it a little bit, just because when Nick Bear announced that he was going to be racing at Ironman Arizona, that kind of hyped me up, and I thought it would be really cool to potentially race with him. I think he's going to bring a lot of good energy to that race, and I think it would just be cool to be a part of. So depending how the body feels after Ironman California, it's possible to be adding another Ironman 28 days later, and, you know, see what happens. But for right now, our full focus is still Ironman California. The other race I really want to do is Indian Wells in December, first weekend of December. So that would be like back to back to back. But Indian Wells is a 70.3, so not nearly as much volume as you know, a full Ironman. So let's just stay focused right now on Ironman California, and you know, we'll figure it out. All right, it's raining. Looks like the rain has passed. Still pretty warm. Well, that wraps up 14 miles of work. Got rained on a little bit for the first mile. Then my watch decided to run out of juice at the second mile. So then I switched to my phone and finished the last 12 miles via Strava on my phone. But overall, the run went very smooth, even though my legs are fatigued. Was pretty impressed that even though I could feel the fatigue in the quads, they were still responding very well. So we ran a total of 14 miles around a 7:40 pace, which is pretty impressive considering it being aerobic, and my heart rate was chilling the whole time. So pretty quick pace for an aerobic day, which tells me my body's really in shape, and that's exciting because we're getting closer and closer to Ironman California, and feel good. I think I'm gonna hop on the bike right now. I don't have access to a pool this very second, so the swim kind of took a shit this week, but the cycling definitely went to another level. And if I can get like 40 more miles right now, it'd be a really successful week on the bike. So yeah, I'm gonna go inside to start pedaling. So let's go.
I want to reassure you that no matter what the night, no matter what the storm, no matter what the difficulty, there isn't anybody here that can't figure it out, find some things to do, step at a time. Yes.